Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 26th, and the market just opened. I've been goofing around for like an hour now, going over stocks on YouTube Live. If you don't join me every week, every morning, you can join me whenever you want. On the weekends, I decided with Saturday's success, I'm going to try and do maybe once a month a podcast on Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons. If you want, just tell me, guide me as to what time works for you. On the weekends. I will not do Sundays. Sundays is NFL football day. I got too much crap to do in the morning to do a podcast. So I sit around and do nothing. It's funny. My friend was here last night and she's like, hey, I've never seen somebody do less than you on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Yeah, well, I said wait until later in the season when it's Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday. Yeah. Let's see. What do we have? Let's go over the TrendSpider offer. There is some. Well, let's go over this. First off, 50% off sale. That's one thing that's going on right now, but 50% isn't even that great because you know what we got? We got 68% off. $249 for the elite level of service. The link is down below, TrendSpider. We did have some people I'm waiting for a response back. Some people tried to add 12 months to their current membership, and TrendSpider said, no, it's just for new offers. Some people, if you want to sign up for 50% off, this is ongoing 50% off. If you sign up for this one, it's probably a one-time offer, and you'll renew at $780 next year. But this 50% off, if you click on the link down below and you want the 50% off, you can get that one too. The key point is click on any link down below. That is for TrendSpider, but that is a special. There's $249 for 1 year. I would suggest going with this one, even though, here's the thing. $249 is crazy good, but understand you have to use this. It's not something that's going to pop out to you. One of the features that I really love that I was talking about with Brendan yesterday on Facebook, the private group, was these alerts. I love the alerts. And the alerts that I get, I don't have to sit there and watch the charts. So I love those alerts. The other offer that I have, and it's down below, is $50 off Seeking Alpha. And I got to tell you, I love Seeking Alpha. And one of the things I like about Seeking Alpha, and I've just started using it, is this trending news. Go to the news and trending news. Look at this. 4 stocks to watch on Tuesday. SiriusXM. Why are you watching it? It slipped 9.5%. Tesla. Why are you watching it? Could be a part of the European Union probe into whether China's EV industry is receiving unfair subsidies. BABA. Why are you watching BABA? It retreated 1%. The Chinese e-commerce said it would spin off its logistics unit. Costco will be in focus because they report earnings after the bell. We talked about it yesterday. Costco, I think it's going to have a good quarter. But I love Seeking Alpha for this trending news. I love them for their chart so far, their analysis, and for their news. In my mind, easily with this trending news, the $189 that you pay for a year, it goes from $239 to $189 with the link down below. I do think, and I was telling folks yesterday, it's going to be in my arsenal. If they don't continue the partnership, I'll pay the $189. At this point, they've locked me in. I really, really like it. Now let's talk about SPY and QQQ before we get to a ton of news and a ton of individual stocks. But here's SPY. You're oversold. I mean, you are oversold right now. Your RSI is at 29. The last time it was here was August 17th, where we saw a nice, let's see, what's that August 17th rally? If you put this down here and you go up to the top, that was a nice 4.9% rally in this one. That's pretty good. I mean, that's not bad at all. 4.9%, I'd take that. You'd be getting a lower high, but you've broken the 200-day, so be very careful about this market. Jamie Dimon said he's optimistically cautious, but what I want to point out to you on SPY specifically is if we run the 65-minute algo, and remember, this is a 65-minute algo, is basically an 8-day EMA. If you go to my YouTube channel, the top video that is up there, TrendSpider with David Yoakum from TrendSpider, we go over and we build this algorithm. He basically built it. I share it. It's his. But SPY on the 65-minute, it is a buy at 432. So it's a buy. Is this the start of a turnaround? Right now, we're down 0.64%. I know I titled yesterday's video SQQQ. We're still in a seasonally weak period. So understand that's why everybody's cautious. But ironically, if we go over here and we put in QQQ on the 65-minute algo, it's a buy as well. And it's a buy at 359.65. You're trading at 357 right now, but it's a buy. Now, your recent buys in this 65-minute algo have not been good. You got a gap up here, 361 to 364. I've said this. If you want to trade QQQ, you might as well, and trade it, you might as well trade TQQQ and SQQQ and pick your poison, whichever one you want to go on, TQQQ or SQQQ. So if we look at QQQ on the 4-hour, you're nowhere near. You have broken the 200-day right there. You've broken the 200-day, but the 50-day has not come down to the 200-day. The talk of support on the S&P is 4,000. 4,200, I think, is what I'll talk about it in a little bit. But we'll talk about some support level. Let me see if I have it while we're talking about it. I'm going to scroll down to my notes. To electric vehicle maker. Bank of America technical strategist says from a technical standpoint, this is just seasonal. He agrees it's just seasonal. We should see a November rally. He thinks 4,200 handle on the S&P would be the low. So we have a little more down to go. If you look at SPY, remember, SPY trades about 10th of what the S&P is. So if the S&P is at 4,200, he thinks SPY will go down to about 420. It's at 429 right now. Like he said, hey, you're talking about pennies on the dollar if you're talking about a rally from here. Again, under the 200-day, the last time we were under the 200-day on SPY, on the 4-hour algorithm, was March. And what happened after that under the 200-day? You continued to rally. So I still think that we're in an upward trend. I would be a little bit cautious about getting in, but for the short term, but for the long term, I think you're fine. I went out. There was a Grit Capital about how they are extremely bearish and all the reasons why they're bearish. So I just typed into Google, bullish signs on the S&P, and I got this FactSet data. And this FactSet, let's see, it is from September 22nd, so it was last week. And part of the interesting one with this report is the difference between median target price and closing price. I noticed there are quite a few stocks that I've talked about here. SolarEdge is the top. Target, $290. The closing price is $136. The difference is $153, a 112% difference. So let's look at Sedge from a chart standpoint because it continues to disappoint. I just, again, you have no confirmation. There is no reason to buy, even though you're down this far. That gap here between 206 and 237, you can see the highlight right there. That's where I bought, and I'm still holding. I'm going to dollar cost average this. This is in a brokerage account. So I'm either going to take this as a huge loss and write it off, and a huge loss, it wasn't a big position. I started the position. So when you're buying optimistically cautious stocks, this is what you should do. Buy it over 5 weeks. Buy it over 4 weeks. Do 20%, 25%. But do it once a week. Don't do it all at once. You want to buy sparingly because we are in a very cautious time. But I noticed that Sedge was up there, and we can look at, I'm trying to move my notes out of the way so I can see which stocks. If we look over here and we go to Sedge, to FinViz, and we look at the analyst target price, $295, they are down 53% year to date. Forward PE is only 11. They talked about weakness in the solar industry, specifically for the U.S. I think the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, should start to kick in, and people will start getting money. The other stock that is on there is Dexcom, DXCM. And Dexcom is one that I'm a fan of, but it's getting hit because, again, $85 I think is a great price for this one. The problem that you have, and the reason I put that one in there, is that Apple has a patent on measuring blood sugar with no puncture. So the actual Apple Watch, which millions of people have on their wrist, could be software updated, unless there's a hardware piece that's needed, but it could be software updated to measure your blood sugar. That's so if you believe that that's the case, buy Apple, because Apple's down at 174. They could wipe out this company Dexcom completely if they get some type of confirmation that they can effectively, and optimistically, I think, measure blood sugar without a puncture. So Apple has been getting into the healthcare world, but that's why this one is down so much. So do your research on that one. Understand why, even though I still think it's coming back in a good market. I think it's coming back to 100. Cleveland Cliffs was upgraded. I was wondering why it was up yesterday. It was upgraded with a $22 price target. 22. The MACD just crossed up that price at $14.43. You're already positive. I think anything under 15, this has a $22 price target from an analyst recently. So I think this one, the 50-day is moving negative. You just had this death cross of the 50-day under the 200-day. That 50-day is starting to turn positive. This one could turn around. Again, we're in a seasonally weak period, so be careful of this one. They are going after U.S. Steel, which is the symbol X, but I'm a fan. I hold this one. One that was up yesterday was Williams-Sonoma. The symbol is WSM. This article right here from Seeking Alpha tells you why. Green equity investors, they basically got into this. They are an active shareholder. They are a hedge fund that basically takes control, blah, blah, blah. This is a passive stake. But just because they took a passive stake, it was a big stake, 5%. So this one rallied big. If we look at the chart on WSM, let's go over and look at WSM from a chart standpoint. Look at that candle from yesterday. And you're pulling back a little bit today. But that candle from yesterday, that is a 6% period. And you continued up. You do have confirmation. If we look at a weekly from a long term, does this make sense to actually buy? From a long-term standpoint, you've been kind of capitulating here for quite a while, and you've just taken off. You use that 200-day as support. That 50-day is starting to turn positive. I would say that you're probably fine with this one going, maybe even up to 181. But again, just realize this is hype. The RSI is rather high. The RSI is at 68. So at some point in time, this has to pull back. But on the weekly, it is an interesting one. Here's another. Let me just close this out. Williams-Sonoma. I'll close out the fact set. Here's another one from Seeking Alpha. And again, this trending news stuff and everything, this is where I found all this. Citibank, 20 stocks on the pullback to consider for long term. I posted this on Twitter. I think I may have posted this on Facebook as well. Stocks Las Vegas Sands, Teradata, Datadog, TKO. I will include all of these symbols in the newsletter. I will include this article in the newsletter so you can read it. This is just from yesterday. DraftKings is one that I do hold. Netflix is one that I do hold. CMG, Chipotle. This is one that somebody, another person on Twitter replied back with a video as to why he thinks that Chipotle is a good buy on the pullback. Apple, I hold it. NVIDIA, I hold it. Intuitive Surgical, I've held it in the past. Don't own it now. KLA, that one came up with a cross up today. So it's a good one. Hammer candles on TrendSpider. I will include this link in the newsletter. So if you're not signed up for the newsletter, it is dailystockpick.substack.com. You can get the newsletter for free. It is sent out to you on a daily basis for free. The only thing that's paid are the weekend newsletters, which will become a little bit more robust in the weeks ahead, with more educational, more charting, more things that I've learned. And you can also follow these people. Rate of Return by Austin Hankowitz. I like his analysis. I really do. Stock Market Nerd Bradley Freeman. He's got a Savvy Trader that I follow. He is just phenomenal with his research and fundamental trading. Fundamental trading. So doesn't use a lot of stock charts, but more fundamental. Weekly stock pick. We talk about him all the time. So, but this daily hammer, bullish hammer, there were, I used this and I changed it to look at stocks in the core portfolio. And there were quite a few. There was Tesla, which, if you don't know what a hammer candle is, I will absolutely include this Investopedia article right here. Hammer candlestick, what it is, how investors use it, blah, blah, blah. It's a candlestick that looks like a hammer. It's got a little thing on the right that's higher than the left. The left one is lower. The tick on the left is lower than the tick on the right. But in the algorithm, you're out of Tesla. You're not in. I think it's using that 200 a day. I don't think it's a bad thing to get this at 245. I think 2.3. Maybe the handle, that's the actual low. Look, the RSI is at 36. The MACD is crossing down. You don't have an algorithm buy. Their earnings are coming out October 18th. It is the end of the month, the end of the quarter. They are pushing. I've heard from my friends that have Tesla, that work at Tesla, that it's crazy this week. So 245, I don't think it's a bad one to get in. Another hammer candle in the core portfolio, Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is today down 0.43 at 327. This one has you out on the algorithm as well. Not in, but it's got a hammer candle, which is bullish. Their earnings are coming out October 16th. And so Goldman Sachs, another hammer candle. And this one I personally own, Bank of America, BAC. I say anything under 30, I think is good. Financials are a little bit tough right now. Higher for longer doesn't benefit them. So Bank of America, good right there. Microsoft is another one in the core portfolio. This is one that I also own. This one's down about 1% today, 314. I think this one's really, really good. I like this one. It doesn't have confirmation. I would wait to buy it. It's completely oversold. The RSI is at 32. The MACD is way down. Their earnings are coming up October 24th. So that's one to watch. And another one that I do own, PanW. I think this is a $250 stock. I don't know why I didn't sell it at $250 when it got to $250. But it's a $250 stock at least. You've started to cover this gap, the gap that's created by earnings. Are you coming down to 210? I mean, you're already under that 200-day. The 50-day has been moving positive. It started to turn negative. But the MACD is well down. It hasn't crossed up. The RSI is at 30. It's oversold. So those are the five that came up with the hammer candles. If you want to import the hammer candle scanner, I will include it in the newsletter. Some unusual options. We're going to go to Twitter, now known as X. TrendSpider noticed some unusual options. If you guys don't know, TrendSpider has unusual options. It's an all-in-one place for you to go. You don't have to pay for a bunch of services and stuff like that. TrendSpider, if you're technical trading, you can do that. Now, someone yesterday, over $2 million in SPY and QQQ out of the money sweeps at above the ask. So this is kind of interesting. And people are speculating that it's a political buy. But I like that one. Let's look at the next. And I don't know how to read unusual options, so you can read into that however you want. Occidental and Devon CEO see oil production staying flat despite rising prices. You can read about this. This is all about oil demand. I talk about supply and demand all the time. All the time I talk about that. Now, HPK, we talked about Wolf Financial has a scanner. This was from a couple of days ago, and they put out a weekly scanner with about 10 stocks, I think. They do spaces on Monday, and so I was listening to it yesterday. Wolf Financial came out with a couple, and one there were two that I looked at specifically, and one is HPK. HPK is high peak energy. It is a risk reward play in energy. This particular person thinks that gap is going to get filled up there. Here's the thing. This company is under pressure to reduce their CapEx while increasing their revenues. That's hard to do. It's got a 16% short interest, which was 24% just recently. So it's come down. And it's come down because you've gone from 11 to 17, and you've still got confirmation up there. Right now, today, it's down 0.84%. They were burning $188 million per quarter, and they've reduced the cost the last 2 quarters. Now, I noticed golden cross here, 50-day on the 200-day, ascending wedge, and a gap above. I mean, if you get that gap above at 21, that's a great move. It is a bit overbought. The RSI is at 71, but you do have confirmation above that 9-day. So this might be a good risk reward. The other one that they brought up, it's consolidating at 62. It's AAR Corporation, and the symbol is AIR. AIR is the symbol, but it's AAR Corporation. I think Joe described it. What is it? AAR, aviation love child of CarMax and O'Reilly Auto Parts. I like that description. AAR, you have a buy in here at 59.70 on the algorithm. The algorithm does fairly well. Doesn't do as well as buying and holding. Buying and holding over 2 years, 24 months makes you 84% in this one. It's a good stock. They have it on their thing. So Wolf Financial has it on their list. And again, it's consolidating around 62. It does seem to be consolidating, which would mean a movement up or down. I mean, one or the other. But their earnings are coming up this week. It looks like, is it today? September 26th. Yep. Today at post-market. So you got this one and Costco. You can play either one. Chinese company Huawei. They came out with a Luxt S7 EV. They teamed up with Chery Automotive, which is a Chinese EV maker. I bring this up because this is what Apple may do with Hyundai, with Kia, one of the Korean automakers. They may do this. This car, the CEO says it will be superior to the Model S in many aspects. Now, don't discount the fact that a high-tech cell phone maker like Huawei, who has really good phones, by the way, can come up with a great EV. It'll be interesting to see, but that one was interesting. The other ones that I saw in the EV space, electric vehicle maker NIO plunged 6% before regaining most of that decline after the company denied rumors it was considering raising $3 billion from investors. So NIO looks like they denied the rumors, but they may be asking for more money. This is the danger that you have in some of these stocks. It doesn't have confirmation. It regained it. Again, you're down, looks like 0.24% at $8.33. Yesterday morning, you opened up at $8.07. So you're up from there. That was a 3.49% move in that candle. So big move on that one. Li Auto's shares fell 10% after the telecom giant Huawei teased first sedan in the high-end USV. So Li and NIO plunging based on the Huawei stuff and some other stuff. But Li Auto is down 0.34%. You're touching that 200-day. Last time you touched the 200-day was May. Might be an interesting one to look at. MicroStrategy bought... Let's see. What is MicroStrategy? MicroStrategy. MSTR. I knew it was. I always think that it's Monster Beverage, but MicroStrategy reportedly bought $147 million worth of Bitcoin in August, raising its stake to $158,000. Meanwhile, hackers stole $200 million from Hong Kong-based crypto company Mixin, causing the network to suspend services. So MicroStrategy, big in Bitcoin. We can talk about it. It's under the 200-day. Every time it dips under that 200-day, continues up on the 200-day. I do like this company. I just think you probably have a better opportunity to buy into Bitcoin if you're in that crypto world. Now, the algorithm makes you 9% versus buying and holding this company loses you 44%. So the algorithm winds up protecting you. Your average win on this is 18%. You only win 34% of the time. So 3 out of the 10 times you win. 7 out of the 10 times you lose. This one, you're out. It doesn't have you in. You're waiting for that MACD to cross up. It might cross up soon. If we're in the crypto world, I like lovely Mara, M-A-R-A. This is a crypto miner. We have seen this one slide. You don't have confirmation on this one. I like this one. Anything under 10, I think it gets back to 10. I like this one once it gets oversold. They do have earnings coming up. It looks like November. So I like this one. So I also saw this article, ARK Invest, UiPath, and Twilio over NVIDIA. Kathy Woods basically said UiPath and Twilio, she believes will do better than NVIDIA because NVIDIA is just too really expensive and it's an obvious play. So she likes these two, Twilio and NVIDIA. I can tell you I've used Twilio for an IVR at Earthlink. I really, really liked it. I brought up the Bank of America. Boyle. Boyle is crazy. It's crazy down right now. It's below 50. Warm winter is expected. And while I was researching Boyle, I typed in Boyle into Seeking Alpha, and I found this article, and it's about how the decay is causing Boyle to actually lose a lot of money. This is interesting. And if you don't want to read anything, we'll just scroll down to the bottom portion of this. And this is what Seeking Alpha gets you. It's great. While the fundamentals remain supportive of spot natural gas prices, I believe the current period of heightened roll decay will be detrimental to Boyle's performance. So I'm downgrading the Boyle ETF to a hold. Adventurous speculators who expect a spike in natural gas prices may find the fundamentals more attractive than the technical decay and buy the Boyle. So Boyle is kind of, again, it's decaying. It's a decaying asset. It's not an investment in natural gas. It's a decaying asset. This one is down 4.23%. It was under 50. It opened at $50.85. It is currently at $50.65. It was below 50, but I'll include that article. Huge insider buy on CART, C-A-R-T, which is Maple Bear, which is Instacart. Huge insider buy. It was these 10% owners. It was 1 million shares. It looks like that was probably on the IPO day. So, but that's $120 million. $120 million right there. That's crazy buy. So, but it was at 30, and that's around the IPO price. Today, you're trading at, let's see what the current live price is, because it's right around its IPO price. It's pulling back. Yeah, it's at $30. I mean, there's no reason to get into that. IVMT. I don't know the news on this one, but this is a stock that is up. Let's see, IVMT. I think that's the IMVT. IMVT. My apologies. I don't have my glasses on. IMVT is Immunovant. It's this is biopharma. It is up 72% today. IMVT. If we take that into Seeking Alpha and we look, it is not making money, losing $240 million. It is a 4.8 billion dollar market cap. It is up 107% year to date. Bucking down market on Tuesday. You can look at the thing. Positive initial IMVT phase. Sad subculturist. I don't know what it is, but it's the big thing. Scans. Let's talk about scans. First one, Apple. I mean, Apple's kind of capitulating. If you get a 1.6 handle on this, I would say load up. You're kind of breaking down below this descending wedge. It is clear that it is still in a bit of a downturn. You're under the 200-day. Do I have to bring up all of the positive things with Apple? The actual, let's go over and look at the analyst. We'll put this up for shits and giggles. Target price, 181. You're trading at 184, but the most recent target price, you can say reiterated 240, reiterated Goldman 216, reiterated Bank of America 208, reiterated Wedbush 230. This one on August 4th, Barclays, they said from 149 to 167. Come on, Barclays. I mean, if is 167 your support? I like this one. I like it a lot. I think I've declared that 50% of my portfolios in Apple. I just continue to add to it. I sell out on, in my retirement account, not in my brokerage account. What I typically will do is I'll take a distribution at the end of the year for some tax loss harvesting. And I'll take some of this, and I just don't like paying taxes, so I don't need that much money to live on. But I do have a good amount of Apple stock, but it did cross up. I'm trying to get the 4-hour algorithm up on Apple. It keeps giving me an error for some reason. TrendSpider does, but I know it's there. Yeah, that's the 65-minute, by the way, on Apple. Let's look at the 4-hour. Come on, TrendSpider. You know what I got to do? I think I got to log out. Where's the on hold music? Because the on hold music is always, and I think it's because, and I have talked with TrendSpider, they all use the internal developers, Chrome, and Chrome is the number one thing I use for Safari. So I love Safari. I mean, come on, I'm in the Apple ecosystem. I tend to just be a Safari fan. So but I'm pulling up the chart right now. Let's see if it works. Oh, it doesn't seem to like it for some reason. God, I hope it works on the next one. Let's see. Let's pull up SMCI. Let's see. SMCI, this is super micro computers. Let's see if it works on this one. SMCI, OHLC. Over high, low close. There we go. SMCI, it likes SMCI, 249.05. I hold this one at about 280. I continue to say, I think that gap up there at 300 starts to get filled. This was NVIDIA earnings. That was the day, August 24th of NVIDIA earnings. It got up there. Its high was 298.35 in pre-market. It was up at 320 in post-market and pre-market. So it's an interesting one. I like it. I like that one a lot. I'll probably be adding to it. Let's look at Apple. Does Apple come up again? Here's Apple, 615, and we're trading at 173. It's down about 2%. I continue to say just buy this one. One that I've brought up before, I wish I would have bought. I did not get into this. I needed to get into this, and I just continually forgot to buy this one. Energy Transfer, it is down 1.2% in pre-market. Energy Transfer, if you remember, is the stock where the CEO has just been on a buying spree for quite a long time. Oh, and that 4-hour algorithm, it's just TrendSpider, it's just not working. And I think it's my computer too. OHLC error failed. There we go. Energy Transfer, it's a secondary cross up. The initial buy was $12.94. You're at $13.84. The RSI is a little bit high, but if we go to FinViz and we just go down here, I mean, look at the buys. Nobody's selling. He's buying more. September 5th, $13.79. You're trading at $13.84. Again, he likes it between $12 and $13. The average target price is $17.27, 9% dividend. Again, I can't bring up that one enough. Another energy name is Transocean. This one owns a bunch of ships that transfer oil around the globe. While oil's going up, these guys are able to have pricing power, $8.38. I think at some point in time, this is a $10 stock. You just got you out with a 0.38. It is capitulating right here. The 50-day is still, it's kind of flat. The 9 and the 21 are just hanging around there. The 200-day is still positive. So you got their earnings coming up November 1st. So RIG, R-I-G. Next one, Chord Energy, CHRD. This one, small cap energy company. It has been a super, super positive one over the past year, maybe two. It's got a big dividend. They were doing last year when energy was way up. They were doing big special dividends. If we go over to Seeking Alpha, and I'm going to type in Chord Energy. because I think they have a great dividend section where you can see the dividends that were paid. Let's go to dividends over here. You can read up all about it on Seeking Alpha. 3.14% forward dividend. Remember, Seeking Alpha does a forward dividend. This is the estimate of what's going to come up. Doesn't include the estimate, the special dividends. But you can see if we just go dividend history, what they've done is these guys have paid special dividends. Look at the dividend. I mean, last year, special dividend, $15. $15 for a dividend per share. That was $15, $2.94. So this was special dividends that they were paying out because the cost of oil and stuff was so high. We're going to run this one again just to see where Cord Energy has a buy. It is a buy at 159.55 and it's trading at 159.57. So if you want to, we talked about Boyle. If you want an absolute liquid natural gas investment, it's LNG, Cheniere Energy. This one has a great dividend. At 164.22 is the buy. I say anything above 150, you're a little bit extended. But again, if you have a cold winter, and these guys right now, they have contracts with China. The short interest is 3.5 million. It's only 1.5%. Target price is 199. And you're at 162. Your 52-week high is 182. You're 11% below that. Their dividend is 1%. Not great. I thought it was a higher dividend. But you can see most recent, September 6th, Capital One, overweight, price target $200. So this is one, again, it's got a cross-up LNG. If you want to invest in something that is natural gas, that is not futures-based like Boyle is, LNG is the one. Matterport, this one's interesting. These guys do a software. If you've ever looked at a 360 Zillow video, this is Matterport that puts it together. They're a software company. I like them. I like this dip. In fact, it was interesting looking up, go to FinViz and look at some of the stuff on FinViz, some of the news. Matterport cross-up is at $2.21. Then we've got a bunch of semiconductor names on NXPI, MCHP, KLAC, LRCX, ASML. In between there is Old Dominion Freight, ODFL, Old Dominion Freight. This one's run quite a bit. I don't know if I'd necessarily get into it up here. It has pulled back below its 50-day. It's above the 200-day, and you had this gap that was clearly filled. It ran here from 303 up to 400. 303 was in June. This has just been a monster stock. In fact, we're going to go back to Strategy Tester, and we're going to see if we can pull this up. It does seem to be losing some of it, and I think it may be Safari. This one, 408.62. Are you going to 500? Maybe not. I mean, this one, if we just look at a weekly on this one, it's been consistent. I mean, you're at all-time highs. Getting into this one might not be the best one. So there you have it. That's everything. Again, TrendSpider, they have a $250 offer, $249.60. The link's down below. You get 1 year of Elite. What do you get with Elite? Well, you go over here and you look. You get all of this, plus you get all of this. The key points that you want are simultaneous workspaces 4. I love that. Max results per scanner 100. I love that. Minimum scanning time frame 1 minute. Love that. Back test 5,000 candles. Love that. You need that in order to those two, the minimum time frame 1 minute and 5,000 candles. You need that in order to use my algorithms. I give you my algorithms. If you want to sign up, there's 50% off there, or skip the 7 days and get $250. There's 2 links. I'll include 2 links. Any of the links that you want, they're here on Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. There's the limited time offer, $250 off. If you want $50 off Seeking Alpha Premium, you can get that. Join Webull. I love Webull. I used their app this morning. I love it. I absolutely love it. Daily Stock Pick newsletter is right there. If you're paying anything more than $30 a month for your visible phone bill, I think it's down to $25 per month. Click on that link. That link's great. If you're buying a Tesla, use my referral code. If you want to follow on Savvy Trader for any of my trades, follow that. You've got all the links right here. There's Facebook. For an email, so the process for to get my algorithm is you sign up for TrendSpider at $250 right there. Then once you sign up, you email me, and the email's right here. It's dailystockpick3@gmail.com. So, and if you want to get to Substack, you can go right there. It's just dailystockpick.substack.com. So all the links are there. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.